higher ups, green light, WONDERKID purchase, Oscar ZAMBRANO, young Ecuadorian talent said to be the next Moises Caicedo as Manchester United race to cut off any happenings of a past mistake when they could have signed Enzo Fernandez for 8 million euros, Moises Caicedo for 5 million euros, but they didn't. And now, look at them now, £100 million players at Chelsea. So Man United head off to stop the trend as they get their hands ready to grasp this young wonder kid in the midfield area. And let's get right into it, guys. Smash those subscribe buttons if you're new. Hit the notification bell so you see when my videos are on. And if you're always here, smash the like buttons, guys. Let me know your comments. Make sure your criticisms are there. Let me know what you are thinking, because that's more important as we get into this show, guys. Good morning to you, and thank you for joining me. It's your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan. Let's go. And good morning, guys. Again, you know how it is. Smash those like buttons. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this. Big up to you too, Stephanie Griffith. Always here, always early. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much for smashing the thumbs up button. Guys, let's get into this presentation really quickly as we see what Erik ten Hag and Manchester United might have in store for the future. Guys, this is one of those processes where the team has been in a rebuild, and it has not gone according to plan or according to schedule, as most fans would aptly put it, because you know what? There's ups and downs when you're rebuilding a structure. You know, you're going to face cost overruns. You know, you're going to face, obstacles where, you were supposed to be doing this and then it's going to take 2 weeks longer instead of taking 2 days. Sometimes these things happen. And as Manchester United know, we didn't have a proper structure or a leading direction followed by every single level in the organizational structure of Manchester United. So it was kind of a chaotic situation with Erik ten Hag, who's supposed to be just managing football, trying to manage the entire club and trying to get everything into one direction. And let's be honest, it's a monumental task. Man United is a different kind of beast. It's the largest English club in history. It's one of those giants that, needs to be awoken. And Erik ten Hag, as great as he is a manager, and we've seen what he can do at Ajax with a structure behind him, he can go toe-to-toe with the best. Then, you're going to back him to succeed, but you have to also take into consideration it would take a lot longer than we anticipated. Now, even though I disagree and I'm not too keen on the 25% investment stake, it is what it is. We haven't got full sale like we wanted yet. We're going to still have to hope and fight that we get full sale going forward. But right now, let's see what the 25% investment is going to do. And there are meetings that Sir Jim Ratcliffe held with staff along with Sir Dave Bradford today at United that were ongoing since yesterday and the day before this week. I mentioned Erik ten Hag and his meeting with Sir Dale Bradford and Jim Ratcliffe, and it was very positive as they both seem to have that want to work together with each other going forward. And guys, I think this might be a positive, because when I start mentioning, some things about the conversations they had with staff and how the staff are feeling after the meeting, guys, it seems like we might be getting that one direction ideology at United through the structure, and they might be willing to support Ten Hag. And it seems like the employees of Manchester United are also positive by the talks that they had with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, which changes a lot, guys. You know what I mean? Because everyone is thinking about it in such a negative fashion. What if Sir Jim sacks Erik ten Hag? Ineos doesn't want him. The club is this and everything is that. But at the same time, there could be a silver lining. And the silver lining could be that everyone wants to work together to make Manchester United better. And I'm hoping that this is something that, we can see put into action. So I'm not going to say yay right now, but I'm going to wait and see how it progresses and see how this actually impacts our performances going forward. And now, maybe we might see the true Eric Ten Hag when he has a structure with the same mindset, stomping and marching along in the same direction as he is. And we can see that with this new exciting move that Manchester United are about to make. Because as we know, we have been facing some midfield woes, guys. And they do not want to repeat the Moises Caicedo mistake, and they are eyeing Oscar Zambrano's signature. Guys, this young talent is very talented. He's set to exceed Moises Caicedo in every single stat so far of the stage of at his age, in this stage of his performance and development. Guys, he plays in the same position. He's very progressive. He has a very good eye for the ball. He's more like a deep lying playmaker that plays at the DM. So could you picture a super physical Christian Eriksen is something that people have been saying to me. One of my friends, he's a scout in this region and he lives in Trinidad, but he moves about South America scouting players. And he said to me, he's like, this guy, he's so technically gifted. He can make passes, is so silky smooth, but he can be a brutal breaker in the midfield when he gets into tackles. Very, very, very physical. Yeah, Campos is getting in. Hey, thanks for joining me, bro. Yes, there's offers put in for Zambrano, and it seems to me that there are two clubs that already put in offers for Zambrano, one of them being Fulham, the other being Luton Town, guys. You know what I mean? So there's lots of things happening with this youngster, but as you know, Manchester United is a giant and we have the pull. So if the green light was really given by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I mean, it's only £8 million. So, I mean, 8 million euros. So that's like what, 5 point something million pounds? It's not that expensive to get him in. And, I'm pretty sure with his performances, we could easily moving on if he was a failure for like 15 to 20 million pounds. So, guys, you have to think about it. You know what I mean? Exactly, Stephanie Griffith. This talk of Ten Hag signing is a bit of a myth with all managers. Don't they say who they want, a wish list, and then have to accept alternatives rather than nothing? It's a big, big fact, but everyone wants to go in on Ten Hag because, they disagree with his decisions. And while I could disagree with them, I would also say that I have disagreed with some of Ten Hag's decision. But, I would say the same thing about Liverpool fans with Klopp, Man City fans with Pep and even Chelsea fans with Poch. Worse yet, are Arsenal fans with Arteta. So, guys, this is always something that's going to happen with managers. They're going to make decisions that make you confused. And if they get it right, it seems genius. If they get it wrong, it's a failure. So it's just a typical thing with part of football and how it is. But let me just get right into this story really quickly so we can get through this. You know, Manchester United formed the season has suffered majorly due to numerous injuries picked up in key personnel, with manager Erik ten Hag hardly ever having the luxury of picking his strongest starting 11. The midfield has been a major source of the consternation, and with all the big name players like Casemiro, Christian Eriksen, and new signing Mason Mount all suffering long-term injuries, the Brazilian's absence has been most keenly felt with the deadline day arrival of Sofian Amrabat, failing to fill the void in his absence. And that's true, guys. Very, very true. Sofian Amrabat has not filled the void of Casemiro. He may have performed well for 2 or 3 games, but for me, it was never a signing that I was too keen on. He was always one of those players for me that seemed like he was having a very good season above his standard, his standing, because he's a good player in my opinion, but I really don't think he's of that elite ilk of player. He works hard and he's good, but he's not that X factor. You know what I mean? So, hats off to him for the job that he's doing, and I hope he can improve and find that similar form that he was having last season. But at the same time, it's one of those things for me where I think, some players just don't have it. You know what I mean? The former Real Madrid superstar is close to a return, and it will be interesting to see which version of the player makes it onto the pitch. Guys, I'm looking forward to see what Casemiro does when he returns. And as we move along, the midfield woes, the manager's tactics is trying to win back possession higher up the pitch and is also not helping matters. And due to the Brazilian international age, it has become difficult for him to effectively shield the back four without any form of support. Ineos, who are set to take charge of sporting affairs at the club, are not too happy at the amount of money thrown at the five-time Champions League winner to convince him to come to Old Trafford. Guys, this is very concerning. You know, there's a growing feeling his time in Manchester United might soon come to an end, and probably next summer with Saudi clubs chasing his signature. United have an alternative in mind. Oscar Zambrano of LDU Quito, who has been dubbed as the next Moises Caicedo. And the Red Devils do not want to repeat their previous mistake when they opted not to sign Caicedo and he instead joined Brighton and Hove Albion, where he impressed enough and earned a move to Chelsea for an 8-figure sum. You know what I mean? So, guys, as I've been mentioning it before, there are lots of young players that United are chasing in this window to try and bolster the squad going forward. But, United are doing things different to Chelsea in the sense that they are trying to keep some senior players to create that experience and youth mixture to help the youngsters develop faster. So, in my opinion, it's going to be a difficult one. It's going to be a slow process, and Manchester United fans need to strap in, have some patience, and watch things develop because, domination can happen, but it takes time to build a team that could dominate things. You know what I mean? And if you look at Man City, for example, Man City had one of the most expensive, talented squads in England for the last 7 years, but they've only won the Champions League one time. You know what I mean? It took 7 years for them to get that squad that was winning the Premier League to win the Champions League. Imagine Chelsea won it before them with a weaker squad, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So it goes to show that the process is a difficult one. It's not set in stone that everything is going to happen just because you did these things. There are also other factors that need to happen. And right now we're in a building phase, so we need to have a little patience and a little. You know what I mean? Give them guys a little bit of time. Let's get into what Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Dave Brudd meetings with Manchester United staff at the club had and entailed. Guys, quick. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his close ally Sir Dave Bradford told Manchester United non-playing staff to work together in an effort to raise the standards and restore the club to its former glories. Radcliffe was recently spotted at Old Trafford for the first time since his deal to complete 25% minority investment was made official. And guys, you know what that means? One of the statements he made to them, I'm not sure if I read it in a larger article or in the same one, but one of those statements was, I am not here to increase the profitability of Manchester United. I am here to increase the productivity of the football at Manchester United. We want to win on the football pitch. This is our main goal. And this was said to be one of the major talking points in his meetings with the staff at Old Trafford over the last 2 days. Guys, Matt Hughes divulges Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Dave Bradford has issued a rallying cry to Manchester United's management and staff by urging them to all work together to restore the club's former glories. The club's new football supremos are understand to have given the same message in a series of meetings. The staff will, over the past 3 days, making it clear that United's on-field performance in recent years have been unacceptable and that they will demand a return to the world-class standards set during Sir Alex Ferguson's era. Guys, this is very interesting to me. This is one of the most important things that I've ever heard so far in this takeover. Because these are the things that, yes, we can talk about he's a billionaire, and yes, we could talk about all the fancy names and big names coming in. But the ideology that they want to set is most important because we were lacking it. And now, with him saying these things and making it clear to staff that winning on the football pitch is the priority, I think Manchester United is going back to football, guys, and not remaining as a commercial club anymore. And this sounds like music to my ears. I'm kind of a little bit conflicted now because I just like the fact that that was their major talking point. All right, let's get in. Mail Sport has been told that Ineos sporting director Brailsford did most of the talking during the introductory meetings with United staff, although Radcliffe was also present. Hughes adds that Ten Hag attended one of these meetings, and we spoke about it yesterday when I told you guys about how productive he found the meeting to be, and they wanted to work together. And it seems like there's going to be a situation where they have ideas, he has ideas, and they're meeting in the middle. So, guys, Radcliffe and Bradford are yet to address the players, which they plan to do today, tomorrow, and on Sunday, guys. Because as you know, the team is gearing up for the game on Monday, so they wanted to have a talk in between that day and afterwards as well. I think they're going to have further talks with the players on Tuesday and Wednesday again. But guys, this is what they're trying to relay to the players right now. It's believed that the two relayed that they expect the Premier League to ratify their 25% stake in the club next month. They also confirmed Ineos would be taking over United's sporting operations, as per the Mail. Brailsford is understood to have repeatedly referred to that to and addressing what he termed as United's performance challenge, a diplomatic way of describing the side's poor results this season, which have seen Ten Hag's side crash out of the Champions League at the group stage and fall to 8th in the Premier League table. Guys, what are your thoughts? Let me know what you're thinking, guys, because this is super interesting to me. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan, but at the same time, just like with players, I expect them to prove me wrong. Hopefully, the actions of this new 25% investment could prove us wrong. You never know. Good morning. Good morning, GB. What's up, bro? How are you doing? Kenny Fan TV, thank you for getting in here. What's going on, my bro? What are your thoughts on and comments on what I've been talking about? Sir Dale Brailsford and Sir Jim Ratcliffe meeting with the Manchester United staff and backroom staff, non-footballing staff, and issuing new alternatives to them and new directives stating that football is now the priority and performance on the football pitch is now the priority of Manchester United. Yes, and Marshall is not getting a contract extension, Kenny Fan TV. As you've seen, guys, Sky Sports News are in the mud. They've retracted all posts and all statements regarding Marshall being in contract talks because you know what? Manchester United are prepared to lose him on a free rather than re-sign his contract if he can get sold in January to some club or a Saudi club that might be interested. Guys, stay tuned for more on that. You know what I mean? Campo Smith is coming in. They're saying everything we want to hear, but don't forget that United employ PR spin merchants. I'm not forgetting that, Campos, at all. But you know, we've seen there are pictures online. I haven't been able to scoop up some yet, but there are pictures online with Sir Jim Ratcliffe meeting the staff, even the coffee lady and stuff like that. So, you know, maybe that's the PR spin. But let's see how these talks impact going forward. Let's see the next 10 games and assess if there has been some marginal gains in the performance of these United players and the team going forward, guys. Because as far as I'm going, I want to see this in action. You know what I mean? And GB is coming in saying, sounds as if Ineos has gotten some information as to passing the fit and proper test if they've gone in and spoken with the team. Well, yeah, they haven't really spoken with the football team yet. They plan to meet with them on today and Saturday because, you know, as you know, the club, you know, rarely trains on a Friday full training. So, you know, today and Saturday, they plan to meet with the Manchester United players. And if they can't meet with all of them, they plan to also address days Tuesday and Wednesday to meet with them so they can relay their own ideas and what they're thinking and give them a little bit of criticism on their performances so far. Kenny Fan TV, I am glad there was a positive meeting between Ratcliffe and Ten Hag, but let's see. Exactly, man. This is what I'm saying. Like, at the same time, for me, I always look at things from both sides. What if it's negative? What if it's positive? And when I look at it, I'm like, Ten Hag came from Ajax, where he was under a strong, rigid system where there's a DOF and there's a sporting director, and he's the coach, and man, he's the coach. You know, maybe he could suggest players to the sporting director and the DOF, you know, but at the end of the day, it was their task to choose the players, confirm the players, and get them in. And as we see, he got in lots of talents, young unknown names from South America and all over the world at Ajax when he was there. And during his tenure, they all performed really well. And even the ones who he, you know, didn't keep at the club, they went on to perform decently as well. So I won't say that it's going to be all negative. It could be a lot of positive, because maybe Eric Ten Hag wants the help. You never know. Maybe he wants the structure. Maybe these guys share his vision. So there's always going to be something, you know what me. So guys, take it on the chin with a spoon of salt. Let's see the action, the words be put into action, and how it affects the club going forward. And guys, thank you for joining me, because this was just a short brief to let you all know what's happening, the latest news and confirmed news. And later on today, usually at 4 p.m., I would come in and give you guys the transfer show and all the happenings, confirmed deals, loans, and transfer targets in the Premier League. But today, I'm going to be doing it at 5 p.m., guys. 5 p.m. UK time, I'm going to be doing the transfer show, where I'm going to be telling you all the latest information on all the teams and all the interests of new players and what are the targets so far, guys. And like Stephanie Griffith is saying, January will be a month of intense speculation, but we need to stay in the FA Cup and win games in the PL, especially against Spurs. And with that, guys, I'm going to concur and say we definitely need to win the game against Wigan comfortably, and we need to defeat Spurs the following weekend. Guys, thank you for joining me. See you guys at 5 p.m. Hope you have a great day. And this has been your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan. It's been your daily update, morning Manchester United news at midday. Oh.